Brandon Coe, San Jose's fourth round, number 98 overall, draft pick from 2020. He's an intriguing prospect in San Jose's pipeline. In this video, we're going to be breaking down what makes Coe so special as a prospect, his strengths, his weaknesses, and where I see him projecting into the NHL. First, to cover some of the basics, Coe scored 101 points this year in the OHL, which put him top 10 in OHL scoring. It's also important to remember that this is his draft plus 2 season, and he's technically first played OHL games all the way back in 2017. That's a long time ago. Do you remember what was happening in 2017? I don't. It's pre-COVID, it's pre-Sharks meltdown. Point is, he's had a long time to adjust to this level of competition, so some of his stats need to be taken with a grain of salt because of that. He had a short and not very productive stint during COVID times with the CUDA, which probably helped him solidify his game when he got back to the OHL this year. But speaking of some of his play in the OHL, in the top right of the screen, you'll see a breakdown done by Mitch Brown over at EP Rinkside. He breaks down CHL, USHL microstats on his Patreon, and I find them really useful for analyzing what I'm seeing on the ice. With some of his numbers, you'll see that Coe is a player who's great in transition. He produces a ton on the ice, both goals, assists, shot assists, and he may have some questionable defensive retrievals and breakups. And all I can say about that is, yeah, that's pretty much Coe in a nutshell. So let's break it down. I'm going to be using the forward evaluation tool, the FET, today for the first time. Hope you're all excited. To provide a broad overview, each stat is going to be rated 1 to 9, with a 5 being a skill near that of your top 12 NHLer, a 6 being around a top 9 forward or so, 7 being a top 6 forward, 8 is a star forward, 9 is like your generational forward. This entire channel is called Half Wall Hockey because it's really just me breaking down players from the half wall, from the stands. I'm not a scout, not even an amateur scout or a statistician. I'm just a fan who watches a lot of hockey, a lot of prospects, and in general, I'm kind of a super nerd when it comes to drafting, projecting, and following prospects. So with all that as a disclaimer, I guess, let's start with the top right of our diamond, which is Carey. One of the first things you'll notice with Brandon Coe is his speed. It's not just his speed, but it's really his speed for his size. He's 6'4", and he skates with tremendous quickness. He seems to be always in motion, at least in transition and preparation for carrying the puck. He's kind of gliding around the ice waiting to get the puck. He looks good at both top speed and has great acceleration as well. A lot of people describe smooth skaters, and Coe just looks like that part as soon as you watch him. You'll see what I mean in a second when we go through some clips. He's a decent stick handler. He attempts to deke around defenders sometimes, but honestly, I don't think it's one of his greatest strengths. He's pretty good at fooling the goalie when he gets in tight, but around defenders, he tends to lose the puck pretty easily. And he's not really the most physical guy to kind of go and get it back from anybody. He's better when he's kind of like scanning, when he's pulling up, he's going wide on defenders with his speed and his quickness and his size to get around people more than they are deking through people. He can also hit players up ice in transition fairly well. But let's watch a few clips and you'll see what I mean. It's a pretty simple play from Coe. He goes out wide, he beats his defender before his defender even realizes he's out there. Defender can't really turn his hips very well. This is kind of OHL level competition, but Coe just goes immediately in for the score. Nice simple move to the backhand. It's not really a groundbreaking goal, but it just kind of shows how smooth of a skater Coe is and how much momentum he can really generate in a short period of time. As soon as he gets that puck, he's around his defender and it's going towards the net. Really good simple play from Coe. You'll start to notice a theme with some of these clips. Coe gets the puck and is gone on a breakaway or a partial break a lot in the OHL, like a lot. It's also because he cherry picks a lot. He's kind of waiting in the offensive zone or up high in his defensive zone to get the puck and to break off. I think that's North Bay kind of teaching him to do that, which is okay. They were a wagon of a team this year, partially because of Coe and how good he is once he gets the puck. Either way, great acceleration. The move looks good. Some stick handling work to try and fool the goalie at the end. Unfortunately, doesn't get it onto the net itself, but he shows good awareness to get the puck back out in front of the net for an attempt afterwards. Here's a clip of a little bit of Coe in transition on a transition play. He's at the top of the screen. He's not really the main puck carrier in this clip. He kind of just gets it back to, I think, Russell there. But you can see him getting around his defender as soon as they get into the offensive zone. He drags him out of the play completely. It allows his teammate to get a really good high danger shot attempt off, which goes in. But Ko's speed really is the standout feature in this category. Once he gets the puck wide on defenders, once he gets his body out wide on defenders, his momentum and his speed and acceleration is such a weapon. Alright, this is our last clip in this category, and Ko gets out of the box and he's just gone. He catches the puck in stride. Within 2 to 3 steps, he's already created separation that is really insurmountable for everyone that's up the play. This came in the playoffs for North Bay, and I watched every game of Ko's during that time, and he really turned it on. He was more physical, he played harder, which wasn't always there during the regular season for sure. This kind of bodes well for him next year, I'd think. Watch how Ko is kind of slapping the ice when he's handling the puck. Like, he's in control, but it isn't really the prettiest looking puck handling. It's kind of emblematic of Ko's puck handling. It's good, it's workable, but really all he needs is one cut, some speed and momentum to get around his opponents, and that's going to be his bread and butter at the next level, carrying the puck. This is the category that I'm by far most excited about with Brandon Ko. It's also kind of the category I think is really under the radar for Ko. When people see a 6'4" right winger with speed, they're thinking maybe power winger, maybe bruiser. But really Ko's best weapon is his distribution of the puck. He's a fantastic passer. He's scoring at a 7.5 on his actual passing ability for me, 6.5 on his vision. He's great at slowing a play down, making a read, delivering those beautiful cross-ice passes right on players' tapes. I don't want to spend too much time right here because we have a lot of clips in this category that are just fantastic. Ko gets the puck down low, he cycles back up high. He really has a choice at that point. Do I hand it off back to number 26 up high and continue this ring around the rosy cycle, or do I launch a backhand across 3 defenders, land it perfectly on my teammate's stick at the goal mouth for a great chance? Like, the touch and the vision on that pass, if you watch it closely, is just bonkers. The vision to see his player going into space like that is fantastic. You can see Ko again here with a controlled exit and entry. It's pretty much off on a partial break again. But this shows the good and the bad with Ko. He's essentially one-on-one with a defender here, but instead of driving at him or towards the goal or stick handling around, he pulls up, he avoids contact, and he kind of just waits in the half wall. Now he definitely has the vision and the passing skill to hit the player in stride around 2 defender sticks, which is fantastic, but I don't really think it was the exact right play to kind of pull up like that and avoid contact. This actually comes right after the clip that was shown before, so to recap, Ko hit 2 teammates with cross-ice blistering passes under 2 defender sticks in the span of about 10 seconds. The power, accuracy, and delivery of his passes are probably the main reasons why he scored the way he did in the OHL this year. I was wrong in a clip before. That's Russell, number 27 there. He's a newly signed Sharks prospect. He's got the goal here. The puck actually gets deflected a bit and hits Russell's shaft of his stick, but I'm still going to count it as a completed high danger pass for Ko. I love watching the replay of this clip with so many defenders wondering how the puck got through them and at the speed at which the puck went through. Alright, this is the last one, I swear. Ko sends a bit of a hope pass to the middle of the ice. He does have a tendency to quote-unquote hope pass, or just kind of pass to space where teammates should be. It's not a failing most of the time, though. I mean, sometimes he really does kind of just send a puck shooting down towards the defensive zone, and you're left wondering why, but a lot of times it really is he sees plays very well in his head, and he knows where players are on the ice, even before anyone else can see it on the ice. Ko himself doesn't always get to the net carrying the puck or getting it into high danger areas or high danger shot attempts himself, but I think his biggest contribution in the offensive zone is distribution of the puck into those high danger areas is extraordinarily great. I believe this skill is top 6 worthy in the NHL. I think it's one of his few top 6 worthy skills. That's why I gave him a 7. Alright, let's go over the finish category for Ko. It's fine. I think giving everything a 6 here is kind of a cop-out on my part, but fine is kind of the way I'd describe this. I don't think his shot is going to hold him back in the NHL in any way. He favors snapshots and wrist shots more so than one-timers or slap shots, but he definitely has every shot in his arsenal, and his wrist shot and snapshot are pretty quick to get the puck off. They don't have too much power, but they are very accurate. He uses the backhand and tight a lot on breakaways, which we saw a bunch in previous clips. I think his offensive positioning is good. He doesn't post up around the net as much as I would want him to with his size. That could definitely help him smack in some dirty goals, which is not something that he did a ton this year. I hope he improves upon that, fighting for space in front of the net to finish plays, because I think that'll definitely serve him well at the next level, and it's something that he needs to improve upon. So let's watch a few clips. Alright, as you're about to see here in a second, this shot is quick, it's accurate, kind of shields his release from the goalie's eyes with that last move there. I like that Ko has his head up and he does that Ko thing at first where he's looking to pass before realizing no one else is there really in a high danger area to receive his pass. So he kind of just rips it home afterwards. This isn't something that happens all the time with Ko, but there definitely is potential there when you see plays like this. I remember watching Jumbo for a decade do this, and all of a sudden he reminds you that he has like this wicked wrist shot that he never shows. When no one else is really available to receive his passes, he just rips it on net. That's what I see with Ko a lot of times. It's either this kind of shot or kind of one timing or getting a quick wrister across the ice and shooting it in. Ko's kind of cherry picking up in the zone a bit, but he creates separation again extremely quick and he's just gone. He doesn't go for the backhand like he normally does. He just kind of rips this one glove side. Great shot. I don't think Ko's shot is elite or anything, but it's fine. It's not really going to hold him back at the next level, and I think that's why he's getting a 6. I absolutely love this clip. It's a good example of Ko's offensive positioning and his awareness. Watch as soon as Ty Nelson, number 24, gets this puck and starts to curl back up ice. Ko immediately heads to the side of the net, up ice. Ko knows where this puck is going to be even before Nelson does, I think. Every single player on the ice is following what Nelson is doing in puck watching, and Ko is already thinking about where the play is going to be 5 seconds from when Nelson touches the puck. Ko gets himself into trouble a lot with this because of how he sees plays develop, because he just kind of commits to it wholeheartedly. He'll think about where a play is going to be and then go to that space, which is great. However, it knocks himself out of plays a lot when those plays break down. This can happen in the offensive or the defensive zone, and we're going to see that in spades in our next category. Alright, so this is kind of the there it is category. For me, Ko doesn't retrieve the puck in the defensive zone at all. He's waiting to attack up the ice, so oftentimes he's just completely out of the play. He's waiting, he's gliding, he's hoping to explode up the ice. The key word there is hope, because a lot of times it doesn't happen, and a whole shift goes by and he's done pretty much nothing. I said this before, it did improve in the playoffs for North Bay. He was more physical, he used his size a bit more, but it still isn't NHL worthy right now by a long shot. I'm being really harsh on Ko here simply because he's not trying to position himself to get the puck in the defensive zone at all. Nor is he being physical and trying to knock players off the puck. He's just kind of waiting, gliding, and trying to go up ice. With his size and his speed, he could be a beast defensively, and I'm just not seeing it at all. I will say he gets the puck fairly well when he's in the offensive zone, and he can move the puck quickly when he does. He battles a little bit, so his physicality improves slightly. But you'll see in the next couple of clips what I'm talking about. Alright, you guys ready for the clips? It's probably not the best ones to end on. I don't think specifically Ko lost his man here, because he still should technically be covering the point man, but he's so high in the defensive zone. He's completely out of the play because he took this long gliding path hoping for a breakout like 3 seconds before. He has a tendency to play completely straight up in the defensive zone too, not leaning over, not getting his stick in lanes. He kind of just looks like the Ovechkin controller disconnected clips over and over again. Alright, I don't want to harp on this too much, but this clip also came from the same game as before, but go watch any of the goals Ko is on the ice against and you'll probably see what I mean. He doesn't battle, he doesn't position himself well to get pucks back at all. He's kind of just waiting up ice for a play to come to him, and that's it. And he'll end up looking like that, where he's standing straight up and the puck's in the back of his net. Now, it isn't out of the realm of possibility that Ko could make the NHL playing defense like this, but it definitely isn't likely. However, 2 things to keep in mind here. 1, he's a playmaking winger. He's not wired to be a two-way forward, nor has he ever really been instructed to play like one. You want some passable defense from your playmaking wingers. 2, North Bay specifically had plays designed for him to just immediately head up the ice and forget play in the defensive zone and hope the puck comes to him. It worked because Ko is stronger, bigger, and faster than everybody else, but a lot of times you end up with plays like this where he's so far behind the play. It's something that has to change with him though, and this type of effort's really not going to pass in the pros. It's something that Labanc worked on a lot when he got to San Jose, and it worked out for him and got him passable, at least in the NHL. And it's something that somebody like Blichfeld never really got going and then out of the NHL. Just a little more effort from Ko here, keeping a puck in the offensive zone and then taking the body afterwards. This also came in the playoffs, which is a little bit of a good sign and some good news for him, hopefully going forward. This is also in the playoffs, and it shows Ko stick checking enough to knock a puck free in the offensive zone and also getting to the net right afterwards. So there's hope. It looks pretty good. I'm not saying there isn't hope. He can do it. I will just be curious to see what happens in the next level if he's able to still maintain his creativity, his offensive output when he has to be more defensively responsible and be more physical. I think there's a player there. He just needs a lot of time and a lot of coaching to get that element up in his game. This is kind of the clip that started me on this train with Brandon Ko when it comes to his defensive zone awareness and his physicality. This clip is pure chaos. It's madness. But it's absolutely hardwired in Ko's brain to just stay as far up the ice as he can at all times. This is 3v3 overtime. There's no second chance here, but just watch Ko. Half the time in this clip, it's 3-on-2 because he's not even on the screen. No one could argue, now one could argue, hey, this is in a January OHL game in overtime, who really cares? But personally, it just shows me exactly what Ko has been taught to do or what Ko wants to do. He wants to float and he wants to wait to explode. It's just such a bad look though sometimes, skating away from the net while your two teammates are like sacrificing their body on the play and your goalie is starfishing to freedom. It's not ideal. Alright, so where does this leave us with Brandon Ko? Overall for me, he gets a 6. Ko is a smooth skater with decent hands, a good looking shot when he wants to use it, and in my opinion, he's one of the best distributors of the puck in the Sharks system. I think this is only surpassed by Mr. William Eklund himself. He has an NHL caliber tools, the size and his speed and a smart offensive mind. He knows where his teammates are at all times in the offensive zone and he can get the puck there with speed. His retrieval of the puck, his physicality, and his positioning, especially in the defensive zone, all leave a lot, and I mean a lot, to be desired, but I think there's something there with the right coaching and structure. I fully realize that giving him a 6 is kind of a cop-out, but that's my honest opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I think Ko has the ability to be a top 9 forward in the NHL, but I can see exactly why he busts if he never gets there. Thank you all so much for watching this first video. I know it's probably been a little bit rough, but I'm hoping you enjoyed it. Next time, we're going to be covering one Daniil Gushchin.